What if I told you that one of the most feared fighters in the history of combat sports didn't just train his body, but trained his mind with equal, if not greater, intensity? What if I told you that before the knockouts, before the fame, before the millions, there was only a vision so vivid, so certain, that reality had no choice but to conform to it? This is not just the story of a fighter. This is the story of how Conor McGregor used the law of attraction, consciously or unconsciously, to manifest one of the most extraordinary rises in sports history. And if you understand this deeply, you will begin to see that his success was not luck, not coincidence, not even just hard work. It was alignment, it was belief, it was assumption, and it was absolute certainty. Long before the world knew his name, Conor McGregor was just a young man in Dublin, Ireland, with no money, no fame, no guarantees, just a dream that most people would have dismissed as unrealistic. But here's the difference. He didn't hope to become great. He decided he didn't wish to become a champion. He assumed it. And that assumption became his reality. He has said it himself many times. He would visualize everything, not vaguely, not casually, but in intense, detailed, emotional clarity. He would see the fights in his mind before they ever happened. He would feel the crowd. He would hear the noise. He would experience the victory before stepping into the cage. And this is the core of the law of attraction. To live in the end, to feel it as already done, to embody the version of yourself who already has what you desire. And Conor did this obsessively. He didn't just imagine winning. He imagined how he would win, which round, which punch, which moment, and time after time, reality followed his imagination. People called it confidence, but it was more than that. It was belief so strong it became fact. One of the most powerful examples of this was the fight against Jose Aldo. Before the fight, Conor didn't just say he would win, he predicted the exact moment. A first-round knockout. People laughed. They mocked him. They said he was arrogant, delusional, disrespectful. But what they didn't understand was this: he wasn't guessing. He was remembering something he had already lived in his mind over and over again. And when the fight began, it lasted only 13 seconds. One punch, and it was over, exactly as he had envisioned. Now ask yourself, was that coincidence? Or was that manifestation? Because this wasn't the only time. Again and again, Conor spoke his reality into existence. He declared outcomes before they happened, and then he stepped into that reality as if it was already done. This is the essence of what many spiritual teachings have been pointing toward. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Your life is a mirror of your dominant thoughts, and Conor mastered this principle in a raw, unapologetic way. But the real test of belief is not when things are going well. The real test is when everything is uncertain. And this brings us to one of the most intense moments in combat sports history. The fight against Khabib Nurmagomedov at UFC 229. This fight was different. It was not just physical. It was psychological, emotional, intense on every level. Leading up to the fight, Conor was still speaking victory, still visualizing success, still carrying the energy of a winner. But here's where a deeper lesson emerges. Because manifestation is not just about words. It is about alignment. It is about inner state. It is about clarity. And during this phase, there was chaos. There was distraction. There was emotional intensity that was not fully aligned with calm certainty. And this is where many people misunderstand the law of attraction. They think it is just about saying affirmations, just about declaring things. But true manifestation requires harmony between your thoughts, your emotions, and your identity. When those are aligned, reality flows. When they are conflicted, results become unpredictable. The Khabib fight became a turning point, not just in Conor's career, but in understanding the deeper layers of manifestation. Because even though he had used visualization and belief to reach incredible heights, this moment revealed something powerful. That energy matters. That clarity matters. That inner peace matters. But here is the truth most people overlook. Even in loss, there is manifestation. Because life is always reflecting something back to you, and sometimes what it reflects is not failure but feedback. After that fight, Conor's journey continued, not just as a fighter but as a businessman, a global icon, a multi-millionaire. And once again, we see the same pattern. He visualized success beyond fighting. He spoke about wealth, power, legacy, and then he created it. His whiskey brand, his business ventures, his lifestyle. All of it was first built in the mind and then expressed in reality. This is the law of attraction in action. not as a theory, but as a lived experience. Now, let's go deeper, because the real secret is not just visualization. It is identity. Conor didn't try to become successful. He saw himself as successful before he had anything. He didn't act like someone chasing greatness. He acted like someone who already had it. And this is what changes everything. Because when you shift your identity, your behavior changes, your decisions change, your energy changes, and ultimately your results change. He walked differently, spoke differently, carried himself with certainty. Not because he was pretending, but because he believed. And belief, when held strongly enough, becomes reality. This is why the law of attraction is not about forcing things to happen. It is about becoming the version of yourself for whom those things are natural, effortless, inevitable. And this is the lesson for you. If you want to manifest success, you cannot just want it. You must embody it. If you want wealth, you must think like someone who already has it. If you want recognition, you must feel worthy of it. Now, not later, not when it happens, but now, because the future is created in the present moment through your thoughts, through your emotions, through your assumptions. Conor McGregor's story is not perfect. It is not flawless, but it is powerful because it shows what is possible when belief is taken to an extreme, when imagination is used as a tool, when vision is held with certainty, and when action is taken in alignment with that vision. He didn't just fight opponents, he fought limitations, doubt, fear, and the expectations of others, and in doing so, he created a reality that once seemed impossible. So the question is not whether the law of attraction works. The question is, what are you assuming about your life? What are you repeatedly thinking? What are you feeling on a daily basis? Because whether you realize it or not, you are already manifesting every single day. The only difference is, are you doing it consciously or unconsciously? Conor chose to do it. Consciously, he chose to see beyond his current reality, to believe beyond his circumstances, to declare a future that did not yet exist, and then step into it as if it was already his. And that is the true power of manifestation. Not magic, not luck, but the disciplined control of your inner world. Because once you master that, the outer world has no choice but to follow. And maybe, just maybe, the life you have been dreaming about is not as far away as you think. It is already within you, waiting for you to believe it into existence.